got the scoring started against Las Vegas Lights on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a fantastic strike. You know, it's really exciting to see a young player kind of take off this season. You've seen him briefly in the beginning of the season, but now really getting into stride.
So 6 big points for SAFC, and as we take a look at the Western Conference table, Hayden, San Antonio is now 7 points up on San Diego Loyal for the top spot in the table. Their magic number is 4, and the way they get there tonight is they win against RGV and either a Monterey Bay loss at New Mexico, or if Las Vegas does not win tonight when they play against Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good odds for San Antonio. They've really driven themselves into this position and hoping for the result that they can control tonight.
And here's how the playoffs work in the USL Championship. The top 7 in each conference qualify, and we touched on this last week. The first seed in each conference gets a bye to the second round, so you only need to win twice to get to the USL Championship. So that's why the number 1 seed, which SAFC is up 7 points on, is so big right now for them.
Yeah, that structure wasn't the case in previous seasons. I really like that. There's more incentive for first place. So I think that SAFC is really going to want to get that.
Well, when you're SAFC, you've already got 18 wins. You're the best team in the league. How do you get better? Well, you go and add the former 2019 Young Player of the Year, Christian Pirano. He is back with San Antonio FC, and he's in the 18 tonight.
Yeah, this is a great signing by SAFC. He's obviously a very creative-minded player on the offensive end, very hard to defend individually, so it's going to be exciting to get him in with the squad now and see what he can do the rest of the season.
And imagine what the ovation will be like if he gets on the pitch here tonight against RGV FC, as San Antonio FC, already a Copa Tejas champion, look to sweep the Lone Star State tonight. Mitchell Taylor is back in. Jordan Farr mans the net. Santiago Patino ready to go when we return here on Bally Sports. San Antonio FC looks to become the first USL Championship side to clinch a playoff berth. But to do so, they'll have to knock off their arch nemesis. It's the South Texas Derby, SAFC, and Rio Grande Valley here on Valley Sports. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. We welcome you upstairs to the broadcast booth, along with the former midfielder Hayden Partain. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. Well, SAFC in this position tonight, Hayden, because they took all 6 points last week against Loudoun in Las Vegas, thanks to two players who landed on the USL Championship Team of the Week, Sam Adeniran and Nicky Hernandez.
Yeah, it really was a Sam Adeniran and Nicky Hernandez week. Nicky Hernandez obviously getting assists there and getting a goal in the second game, and what a world-class goal from Adeniran. Don't know how that wasn't goal of the week.
It wasn't goal of the week, but this one from Nicky Hernandez was, as he got the scoring started against Las Vegas Lights on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a fantastic strike. You know, it's really exciting to see a young player kind of take off this season. You've seen him briefly in the beginning of the season, but now really getting into stride.
So 6 big points for SAFC, and as we take a look at the Western Conference table, Hayden, San Antonio is now 7 points up on San Diego Loyal for the top spot in the table. Their magic number is 4, and the way they get there tonight is they win against RGB and either a Monterey Bay loss at New Mexico, or if Las Vegas does not win tonight when they play against Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good odds for San Antonio. They've really driven themselves into this position and hoping for the result that they can control tonight.
And here's how the playoffs work in the USL Championship. The top 7 in each conference qualify, and we touched on this last week. The first seed in each conference gets a bye to the second round, so you only need to win twice to get to the USL Championship. So that's why the number 1 seed, which SAFC is up 7 points on, is so big right now for them.
Yeah, that structure wasn't the case in previous seasons. I really like that. There's more incentive for first place. So I think that SAFC is really going to want to get that.
Well, when you're SAFC, you've already got 18 wins. You're the best team in the league. How do you get better? Well, you go and add the former 2019 Young Player of the Year, Christian Pirano. He is back with San Antonio FC, and he's in the 18 tonight.
Yeah, this is a great signing by SAFC. He's obviously a very creative-minded player on the offensive end, very hard to defend individually, so it's going to be exciting to get him in with the squad now and see what he can do the rest of the season.
And imagine what the ovation will be like if he gets on the pitch here tonight against RGV FC, as San Antonio FC, already a Copa Tejas champion, look to sweep the Lone Star State tonight. Mitchell Tainer is back in. Jordan Farr mans the net. Santiago Patino ready to go when we return here on Valley Sports. San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buytoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Third Sunday or Saturday in August, San Antonio FC and RGV FC in a Copa Tejas showdown here tonight. Take a look at the starting 11s for both sides. First for RGV FC, we mentioned the return of Christian Pirano. There is a returnee in Jonas Fjellberg, who is back with RGV, makes his season debut with the Toros tonight after coming over on loan from Indy 11. He had 2 goals in 16 appearances with RGV a season ago. And for San Antonio FC, Mitchell Tainer is back in the starting 11 tonight after serving a yellow card suspension last week. But PC is serving a 1-game yellow card suspension, so he is out tonight. Alan Marcina does not put Christian Pirano in the starting 11, but he is in the 18, so we'll see whether he'll make his season debut. Take a look at Wilmer Cabrera on the other side, and that's Greg Dupgar, center referee. As we are set to go, it is the final installment of the South Texas Derby in 2022. Along with Hayden Partain and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here on Bally Sports. Opening kick tonight brought to you by Pizza Hut, San Antonio FC in their home black kits trimmed in silver, and RGV in their away white kits trimmed in blue and orange. Temperature kickoff tonight, 91 degrees. A good breeze coming out of the east-southeast, 17 miles an hour. And the sun going down a little bit earlier as well, too, as it's close to dusk here as we kick things off tonight at Toyota Field. And this is the final home match of the season, Hayden. That'll be an 8 o'clock start after tonight. The next home match, which will be September the 10th, will go back to 7:30 start. So, yeah, we are moving out of the summer gradually and into fall.
Sweet, we can go to bed on time.
At least you can. Tyler Derrick, the keeper for RGV. He's only lost once in 4 lifetime appearances against San Antonio FC, and he's never lost while a member of RGV here at Toyota Field. In fact, going back to the keeper Derrick, his only loss was a member of the San Antonio Scorpions back in June of 2012. 34-year-old in his 14th pro season.
Wow, he's made this place a fortress. We'll see how that pans out tonight.
Derrick's got a long history with the not only Toros but the Houston Dynamo organization. He was the first ever Houston Dynamo homegrown signee back in 2009, the second ever homegrown signee in Major League Soccer. His all-time record in RGV, 23 wins against 19 defeats, 12 draws. So San Antonio FC, winners in back-to-back matches after suffering a 3-0 loss on the road in San Diego 2 Saturdays ago. They come back and knock off Loudoun United 2-1, and then a pretty convincing 2-0 victory last Saturday night against Las Vegas Lights FC, giving them a 7-point lead atop the Western Conference table. Meanwhile, for RGV, Hayden, they have slipped all the way to the bottom of the conference table here as they come into tonight with just 26 points. Just 1 win in their last 10 matches. They have not won since the 18th of June. And that was a victory against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, 1-0.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to get out of as a team when you're in that kind of form. Winning's contagious and losing's contagious, so 1 win in 10 games, that's rough.
And even still, 1 win in 10 matches, they're only 8 points out of the last playoff spot in the Western Conference. And tonight being just their 24th match of the season, so they do have some runway to work with in terms of games in hand. But you can't put forth 1 win in your next 10 matches and think you're going to end up in the postseason.
Yeah, but as you said, I mean, it's really stacked there at the bottom half of the table. There's many points for grabs. We're going to see a lot of changes there, I believe.
You've got even just the teams that are above the playoff line, and El Paso and Las Vegas right now even at 34 points, and then Galaxy 2 is right behind them. So interesting at the bottom of the table in terms of who's going to come up. Of course, Monterey Bay FC has been making that really impressive push here in the second half of the season, as they're trying to turn around what was just a horrific start as an expansion side. And make it something magical here at the end. They're playing right now simultaneously with this match in New Mexico at the Lab against New Mexico United. This goal kick awarded here to Tyler Derrick. And again, the magic number, Hayden, for SAFC is 4. A win here tonight, and then either a loss by Monterey Bay FC at New Mexico, or should Las Vegas later tonight hosting Sacramento not win, that is if they lose or get a draw, that'll give SAFC the 4 points they need to qualify for their 3rd consecutive trip to the USL Championship playoffs. And it's, I don't think, a story of if, but more like when it's going to happen at this point.
Right. Just if you're SAFC, just focus on getting the 3 points and the rest will pan out, whether those results go your way or not.
Meanwhile, Akeem Ward was on loan from Oakland Roots, where he wasn't getting a lot of minutes. And here's Jonas Fjellberg. A good build-up through the middle of the park. See the push coming forward by the veteran captain Juan David Cabezas, and turning it wide there is the right back Jonathan Ricketts.
I will say Fjellberg's finishing in warm-ups was impressive, so SAFC need to make sure that they're paying attention to him. He looks like he's clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, Fjellberg, who had 22 goals in 61 appearances at the University of Dayton, and then was a second-round selection by FC Cincinnati in the 2021 Major League Soccer Super Draft. He came on loan to RGV late in the summer last season and starred for them in their really what was their final push to just make it to the USL Championship playoffs. Remember, they had to win their last 3 games just to get into the playoffs, and then, of course, they go to Phoenix and they stun Rising in the opening round, which earned them a date here at Toyota Field, which, ironically enough, is the last time that RGV has been here at Toyota Field, was that playoff match from a year ago. See the turn by Shannon Gomez holding off Akeem Ward there. So SAFC, their 25th match and their 25th different starting lineup tonight with no PC. But Mohamed Abu is back after missing the last couple of games with injury, and it's good in these instances on set pieces. Abu over the ball here. He drills a good one into the box, and Tyler Derrick rises, drops it, but is able to recover. Quickly bounces back up.
It's well done from Tyler Derrick, but if you're an SAFC player, you've got to be there when that ball comes out.
Saad Abdul Salam on the back tonight once again on the right side. Jasser Kamiri in the middle. Mitchell Tainer back in his usual spot on the left. Remember last Saturday night, Carter Manley looked like he tweaked his hamstring in the 26th minute. Left the match, did not return. So as Tainer comes back, Manley is out. Fabian Garcia remains out with a lower body injury. And David Loera also out to complete the injury report for SAFC. And Saad Abdul Salam sending it forward. But flicked along and back in. And Shannon Gomez will turn it out. Ricky Ruiz trying to set up on the outside there. Christian Pinzon, who makes his 4th appearance after coming over from Deportiva Tapatio, which is the reserve side of Chivas. That service is over the head of Jonas Fjellberg.
Yeah, that was a dangerous ball. Just runners weren't ready for it, it looked like.
And I don't care if you got a battle of the team at the top of the table and the bottom of the table here tonight. This is a South Texas derby. Basically throw the records out the window.
Yeah, there's blood, sweat, and glory in these matches.
San Antonio FC has taken the first 2 matchups this season. Tyler Derrick lost a little of his footing as he got rid of that ball. The first matchup between these sides came back on the 27th of March, was a 2-1 win for SAFC, and then a more adventurous 3-2 win in the last meeting, which was back on the 28th of May. Justin Dillon had a brace in that match for SAFC. They have been perfect against RGV and El Paso this year, trying to sweep the Lone Star State here in 2022. Ricky Ruiz shouldered off the ball by Mitchell Tainer, but we play on. Connor Maloney wearing the armband tonight is the captain. Mohamed Abu moving it forward. Nicky Hernandez out wide on the wing. Sam Adeniran trying to set up to his left, and he gives it a go, but over goal. Good strike though, but into section 115.
Yeah, that was well done. We know he wants to get on his favorite at left foot. It's so hard to defend, even though you know he's going to do it. Just a little shoulder lean, Bates with it. Just the touch is a little too far away from goal for him to get his body over the ball.
It's going to be a tough night defending for the left back, Akeem Ward, 26-year-old, who is a former 14th overall draft pick by DC United in the MLS Super Draft. And then Ricketts unable to keep that one in play.
It's two good spells through the midfield, though. The SAFC has gotten the ball from one side to the other, and that chance came off of a tackle won by Mitch.
They'll keep moving forward once again here. And even without Tainer and Fabian Garcia last Saturday night against Las Vegas Lights, they certainly didn't look worse for having neither of those players on the back end, just completely shutting down any semblance of an attack for Las Vegas.
Yeah, Dellum really stepped up big in that role, and to have guys like that on your bench that can really step into any position, because I mean we've seen him as a goal scorer this season as well, is just it's unparalleled. You need depth like that to win championships.
Ricky Ruiz switching the play. Akeem Ward as he runs on Shannon Gomez. Cuts it to the inside, cuts it to the outside, back to the inside. Akeem Ward, and blocked stepping up by Mitchell Tainer.
Yeah, that's some nifty footwork right there. I don't see Shannon on skates often, but that's where SAFC helps. You know, if they feel like one guy needs help individually, you know, other guys will step up to help defend. And I think Mitch ultimately makes a block there to eliminate the opportunity.
26-year-old Ward showing why he was a 14th overall pick in the MLS Super Draft as he makes his 9th appearance of the season. Came over on loan at the beginning of July from Oakland Roots. Did not play in the match when Oakland was here against SAFC. Jonas Fjellberg will peel off. And this service from Akasa to the back post. Taken by Sam Adeniran. He's got runners going forward. Well done there. Just to break it up over there on the left side by Eric Pimentel. He's got to get back here in a defensive position now. SAFC wants to push forward. A challenge won there by Akeem Ward, upending Santiago Patino. Adeniran, crafty. Connor Maloney. And Derek is there for the save. A good strike on target. And I tell you what, Hayden, Connor Maloney getting ever more comfortable and confident taking shots.
Yeah, I love it. He's inside, so didn't really give any width. So I think he knew what he was going to do before he really got the ball. Put a shot on target, test the keeper. It's early on.
And once again with the ball, Maloney. And it opens up, Connor Maloney. And nearly stuck in there by Patino, the runner. It'll be a corner awarded to SAFC.
It's really well defended. Connor gets the ball served in a really dangerous area. Obviously, Patino being the target. Let's see what they do on this SAFC corner.
So Nicky Hernandez, who took the corners and set pieces last week in the absence of both Mohamed Abu and Fabian Garcia, and it was his set piece that it was eventually ruled an own goal, but was beautifully delivered to Jasser Kamiri in the first half stoppage time that gave SAFC a 2-0 lead going into the locker room. Hernandez again here on the right-footed in-swinger from the near stick. Short to Mohamed Abu, and he'll serve one into the back post as Tyler Derrick is there. A little bit of contact between Derrick and Patino. The referee, Greg Dump, guys, let some contact go here early. I think he recognizes it's a derby match. There's going to be physical play tonight. I like the way he's called the match here so far in the first quarter hour.
Yeah, I like that from the referee, to be honest. I told you on the air a few games ago, I've never understood the overprotection for goalkeepers, but he just gives them a little nudge, you know. It's not a big thing. It goes down a little easily, and he lets it play on. So we'll see how the rest of the game goes. But yeah, I want to see, you know, it's a derby match, like you said. I want to see some aggression. I want to see some fair tackles, but hard challenges. Patino's obviously going to be all in the middle of that. He always is.
And the style for SAFC always dictates that by nature they're going to commit a lot of fouls. They're fourth in fouls conceded at 363 coming into play tonight. Fourth in yellows as well at 71. Not very far off from where they were a year ago through 24 matches. They were at 374, which was first overall for fouls conceded, 67 yellows. So not as many fouls, but more yellows this year than last season to this point.
I suppose they're making them count.
Connor Maloney. Sam Adeniran. Nice cross. The ball looked like it was in a tough spot, and it's going to end up being a corner here for SAFC as Akeem Ward couldn't keep it in play. Kind of liked a little bit with the decoy that SAFC used in the last corner with Nicky Hernandez going short to Abu. He's certainly better off in that position.
Yeah, with those two players too, it gives you different angles. You can have an in-swinger or out-swinger, just really what you're looking at.
Dylan. Adeniran, edge of the box here. Gives it away. Connor Maloney just steps right in front of Jonas Fjellberg. Wasn't going to let him get the ball. It's off of Connor. And the ball back here to RGV FC through the first quarter hour at Toyota Field, 0-0. The all-time series, San Antonio FC. This is the 23rd meeting between these two sides. 9 wins, 6 defeats, 7 draws. SAFC with the all-time lead here at Toyota Field. SAFC is 5-3-2. Caution, just as we were saying, on SAFC here as Ricky Ruiz gets upended in the 17th minute.
Yeah, I mean, Kamiri just steps in late. I think it's a bit unnecessary. You really don't want to give the ref the opportunity to give a yellow card so early in the game. He's got to be careful now on the types of challenges he makes.
SAFC has taken points in 15 of the last 18 South Texas derbies. They've outscored RGV in that time 29-21. They've got 9 wins. So the series overall is close, but that's because RGV really dominated in the first couple years of the South Texas derby. SAFC's controlled it for a good chunk of the last few seasons. Juan David Cabezas. Maloney. Heavy there with the touch by Juan David Cabezas. And a foul whistled here, and another caution goes up. This one on Abu in the 18th minute. So as he clips Juan Pablo Torres, so, well, it was, I don't think more than 2 minutes ago we were praising the center referee, Greg Dupka, and letting some things go, and now he throws out 2 yellows here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to see the replay on that one if he makes contact, but he's going to just poke it. He goes with the cleats, the stud shown, so I mean, it's really hard. Even if you poke a ball away, you can't like flip your foot upside down and your cleats be up. They're going to be showing to some degree, but if he makes contact on the top of the foot, I mean, it's got to be a yellow card. You got to protect the players because that's how really just straight leg tackles happen and injuries. Looks like he maybe caught the bottom of his foot kicking it away. Although Abu got the ball, you know, stud showing in the rule book, the ref's got to call that.
So as Juan Pablo Torres gets medical attention there on that left foot, take a look at the 2022 Copa Tejas standings. In fact, SAFC has already captured the Copa Tejas, perfect 3-0. So they're going to be presented the Copa Tejas trophy tonight after this match because this is SAFC's last Copa Tejas match. There will be one more between El Paso and RGV coming up in September. But pretty dominant performance by SAFC. They have owned, as mentioned before, the state of Texas this year. And I saw the pictures after they won in El Paso to capture Copa Tejas a few weeks ago. You could tell the players were pretty enthused about winning that cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trophy, and it's good for morale in the locker room, so I love it. It's also weird not having like Austin, right? It's like a three-way round robin, and you know, obviously SAFC's having a remarkable year like they have in the previous seasons, but
all thanks to the supporters. Copa Tejas started by them not only in USL Championship but also in MLS as well, between the three Texas sides, Austin, Dallas, and Houston. Service into the box. Ricky Ruiz trying to give it a go, and again blocked in front by Jasser Kamiri.
Yeah, just a bit of a misclearance from Shannon Gomez, but Kamiri made a huge block there.
RGV playing tonight without one of their leading strikers, the former SAFC number 9, Frank Lopez, not in the 18 tonight, comes in with 4 goals on the season, but placing Jonas Fjellberg in his spot tonight alongside Ricky Ruiz and Emilio Acasa up top. Ruiz, the 25-year-old who played in USL League One the last couple of years with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. He was pretty successful at that level, and he makes the turn here now on his left. Jasser Kamiri heading it out. And Justin Dillon bringing it down. The challenge won by Akeem Ward, even though the ball goes out. No call that time. Dillon wasn't happy that there was no call on the challenge by Ward.
Yeah, it looked like he went through the back of him. To be honest, it's either a foul or RGV throw, because I don't think the ball was actually touched on the tackle. But we play on.
Instead, SAFC gets the ball. Juan David Cabezas. Saad Abdul Salam heading it along. Jose Torres. That'll belong to Jordan Farrs, yet to be tested here in the first 21 minutes of this match. So RGV's got 3 exceptional midfielders in the number 6 and number 8 spots. Also, it's a broadcasting nightmare, Hayden, because you've got Jose Torres, Juan David Cabezas, and Juan Pablo Torres. But they are all exceptional. Jose Torres is the 34-year-old in his 17th season, as we get a hard foul off in the corner. Akeem Ward upended by Santiago Patino. That is hard on the second look. It's off in the corner there. Ball awarded back here to RGV. But I was saying, Jose Torres, 34-year-old in his 17th pro season. He's a native of Longview, and 26 caps with the U.S. men's national program, but he's played in his entire career in Mexico in Liga MX, Pachuca, Tigres, and Puebla before finally coming to USL Championship last season with Colorado Springs FC.
Yeah, those aren't small clubs. He definitely has a great pedigree, and just being a good center midfielder, it's hard to come by these days, really.
And Juan David Cabezas, the captain for RGV. Boy, he's been with Wilmer Cabrera through and through, coming over from Houston Dynamo, where Cabrera had a long relationship with for many years. And then, of course, Wilmer Cabrera was the first coach here in RGV back in 2016, spent 1 year with the Toros, took them to the playoffs, and then returned last year after the so-called affiliation arrangement between Houston and RGV dissolved and became more of a hybrid relationship between the two sides. As Dillon concedes the ball, and Tyler Derrick will pick it up, and well, RGV in their first year after taking more ownership of their soccer decisions was able to advance to the playoffs. This year, not the same case, coming into week 24 of the regular season. Christian Pinzon. Emilio Casa had some success in Austin before he went on loan to RGV in the middle of last season. Ricketts is held up by Connor Maloney, and Greg Dupka will hold Juan David Cabezas up here. Gives you an idea of what Alan Marcin is thinking right now here, and yet another foul on SAFC. Well, Hayden, I think we spoke too soon in saying they were going to let him play here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what really changed. We want consistency, but either way, Kamiri's got to be smart. He's already on a yellow.
Kamiri on a yellow, Mohamed Abu on a yellow. A set piece coming up for RGV.
Yeah, Patino has a few fouls on him. Just need to be smart. If they're going to feel the contact, they might go down. So just, if you're late on it, just leave it. There's no point.
Basis, Fjellberg, touch over to Jonathan Ricketts. Fjellberg off his back foot. Ricketts in the box, goes down. Waved off by the referee. And, I mean, that looked a lot more egregious than some of the other fouls that had been called.
I would agree with you on that.
Ricky Ruiz. And a corner awarded to RGV. Jordan Farr came racing out to the center referee after that ball went across the byline.
I think that they want to see a yellow card there. I don't know if we are going to get to see it again, but maybe they feel that there was a bit of simulation there. This is a tackle on Kamiri's timely tackle. I think we're talking about the tackle 2 times ago,
Before,
maybe.
yeah.
I think that's what Jordan Farr. I mean, as a goalkeeper, if you got guys trying to, fake it to get a PK, I would be upset too.
Second corner here for RGV. To the back post in the direction of Wahab Akwe, but Akwe whistled for pushing off in the back of Santiago Patino beforehand. No surprise, testy little match here through 27 minutes. SAFC and RGV in different positions right now, but yet playing like this is November of a year ago when San Antonio FC and RGV were fighting for a spot in the USL Western Conference Final. Ricky Ruiz is unable to keep that in play.
A bit unfortunate there on the cutback. Ball went off his plant foot. But really well defended from Tainter and Maloney there. Really touch tight.
Ricketts hauling it along. Abu. Again, Ricketts, and now a foul on Emilio Casa. A bit of a hold there on Mohamed Abu. Casa, 25 years of age, is in his 3rd pro season. He's collegiate soccer at South Florida. Signed with Austin Bold 2 years ago, and then, as mentioned before, came over to RGV on loan at the end of last season. 64th appearance in USL play. Abu straight away over the ball here, just inside the center circle.
Yeah, this is never an easy set piece right down the middle of the field.
Played off to the right. The runner is Tainer. Just heads it over goal. Nice little set play, though, designed by SAFC. Tainer sneaking in on that right side and is able to get on the end of it, just put it over net.
Yeah, I think it was just a bit too far for him to get some contact to get it back across. But I mean, he's a target for many of their set pieces, especially for the, the back stick to head it back across for someone else to get a chance on goal.
A half hour in New Mexico. It is 0-0 between Monterey Bay and New Mexico United. We'll keep an eye on that. And if you joined us a little bit later in the telecast, SAFC's magic number is 4 tonight. If they win here against RGV, and should either Monterey Bay lose in New Mexico or Las Vegas not win against Sacramento, San Antonio FC will be in the playoffs for the 3rd straight season and the 4th year overall in 7 seasons as a franchise. Team Ward, Christian Pinzon, and off of Shannon Gomez. Pinzon back to Ward. Ruiz. Pinzon on the outside there. Going to run on Saad Abdul Salam. Pinzon the turn. Ricky Ruiz. Gonna cut it back on Hernandez. Hernandez does well. Jonathan Ricketts. Demiri will head that one out. Ward settles. Edge of the box. And a cross one in. Goes off the head there on the far side of Saad Abdul Salam. San Antonio FC to make the clearance on the right side of the park.
RGV have done well here. They've really pinned in SAFC a bit here. Nothing truly created yet. Called the first foul there.
Fjellberg got knocked down.
Yeah, I think he was given advantage. I think both teams are still trying to feel each other out.
Well, they haven't played in almost 3 months, so we'll go back to the end of May, the last meetings. It's been a while. Ricketts. Ruiz. Turn there. Defended here on the outside by Abu is going to allow Christian Pinzon to come back around to the inside there.
Tainter trying to get some of the fans involved.
Getting into the meat of the opening half, where San Antonio FC did their damage last Saturday night against Las Vegas. So the match had somewhat developed in a similar fashion before Hernandez with that just surprise strike from the far touchline that had the keeper thinking cross, and Hernandez went for goal and was rewarded, getting his 2nd of the year. That really opened it up at that point, and SAFC got one more before halftime. We're putting it on lockdown mode against Las Vegas Lights in the 2nd half. Goal for Nicky Hernandez came in the 34th minute. Up to that point, there had only been 1 shot in the match for either side. Coutinho able to get a little bit of position on He's able to make the move on Akwe, although Akwe gets some support from Ricketts, and the recovery by Akwe allows him to win the ball. Fjellberg getting it through Mitchell Tainter.
And the initial sustaining the ball possession from Coutinho was great. Once he got that turn, though, he should have slipped Dylan in.
Five shots combined in the first half hour between the sides. Just the one on goal for Connor Maloney so far. This one sends Jordan Farr backpedaling. Fjellberg able to keep it in play. Fjellberg the cross. Miri hits it off the wrong side of his foot, trying to make the clearance. And they'll concede the 3rd corner to RGV.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous ball. They're dropping in the 6-yard box, and Kamiri really didn't have his body positioning right. Almost facing towards his goal completely. That's where you can get some own goals. Missed clearance going to your own net. See Jordan obviously organizing his defense for the set piece.
Bends out, brought down first time, Pinzon gives it a go and it's in! Christian Pinzon as it takes a deflection on its way to the net and it finds a home behind Jordan Farr and into the back of the SAFC net. And in the 35th minute, RGV is up 1 on Christian Pinzon's first as a member of the Toros.
Wow, that was a fantastic goal. The first touch, the composure there, the little fake shot, cuts, shoots into traffic, deflects, and goes in the back of the net. There's nothing Jordan Farr can do there.
And we'll see how that one is ruled because, well, Kamiri didn't get his, and this certainly took a couple of deflections on its way to the net there. And that might be ruled an own goal off SAFC when they take a look at it. Either way, it's RGV that strikes first in the 35th minute and has the 1-0 lead. Again, if it's Pinzon, it's his first since joining RGV. This is his 4th match with the club, 2nd career goal. Again, he's playing with Chivas' reserve side, Deportivo Tapatio, Mexican 2nd Division. 24-year-old who played at Cal State Fullerton, was originally a draft pick by the Chicago Fire back in 2021. That was a great, just first touch off the ball as it bended on the corner, just to open himself up for the shot.
Yeah, he faked me out a bit, I'll be honest. I thought he was going to take it first time with the right foot.
And now it's Hakeem Ward making the run in space, and Ward makes it 2! No doubt about that one. In the 36th minute, Hakeem Ward makes the crafty run inside the box and has Jordan Farr outstretching to no avail. 2-0 RGV at Toyota Field in the 36th minute.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cross shot, and Jordan's just maybe a little bit off his line. It sneaks behind him. It's a great run. Just a little slice into the back post there. A lot like Nicky Hernandez's goal last week.
Great ball from Pinzon. Will get the assist. So Pinzon a goal and an assist here in the last 2 minutes. And this is a little bit of what happened to SAFC in the match in San Diego a couple of Saturdays ago, where they gave up 3 goals in a quarter-hour stretch. And you see the ball just cut right to the inside of the near post there from Hakeem Ward. Just his 3rd career goal in what is tonight his 75th overall match. And his first since joining his new club here in Rio Grande Valley. SAFC after that goal had a little bit of a huddle on their side of the field trying to reorganize. A lot of soccer to be played here, but now find themselves staring at a crooked number on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 2 goals in that short amount of time. You've got to really recalibrate mentally and make sure that, hey, we need to get one back here. Don't let another one happen.
They are giving Pinzon credit for the goal right now. And Hakeem Ward will get credit, obviously, as well. And that cheeky finish from the outside. Goals coming just a little over a minute apart.
Yeah, on that last replay, I don't know if Jordan Farr thought it was going to be in the front post side netting, out of bounds, or just, I don't really know. Don't see that often happen to him. A goal getting sneaking in there on the front post.
SAFC hasn't had a multiple goal deficit at home since the early part of the season when they lost 2-0 at home against Phoenix. And a foul on Tanger here as Fjellberg got knocked in the head.
I think that's a bit harsh, really. Maybe a flailing arm from Mitch. He's not looking behind him and intentionally hitting a player. And had won the possession of the ball.
That 2-0 loss at home against Phoenix Rising back on the 2nd of April, but Rising didn't make it a 2-goal game until stoppage time in the second half, and old friend Marcus Zepps put it away for the visitors. So for SAFC to be down by this margin this early in the match is certainly new territory for them here at home. It's Jose Torres over the ball here. Fjellberg will now come and join him. Fjellberg, edge of the box. Service in is defended out by Nicky Hernandez. Torres, the crafty veteran, just lets it ride out for a throw, allows his group to get organized here. 40th minute, SAFC down 2 goals. Casa calling for the ball. Hernandez colliding there with Jose Torres. And Acasa wins the ball, but also commits the foul. SAFC came into tonight's match outscoring the opposition 23-6 here in their 11 matches at Toyota Field. So in just 36 minutes, they have given up a quarter of their entire goal output conceded at home. Just to show you how impressive their play at Toyota Field has been all season.
Yeah, but like you said, this is a unique situation that they're being put in, so I think it's going to be a great test, and we can see how good they really are and how they're going to respond in situations like this.
Hernandez, back post, headed down by Kamiri, but just wide.
I think Hernandez and Kamiri are on the same wavelength.
It's the second time they've hooked up here. San Antonio FC this season has trailed coming into tonight for all of 235 minutes. But I like the point you made, because it's no sure thing once they get to the playoffs that they're going to be leading wire to wire in every single game. So to see how they respond in situations where they're down, and especially down multiple goals,
right,
I'm going to tell you a lot about the club here over the next 50 minutes on this match.
Yeah, we know their stats when they're the team that gets the first goal in the game. I mean, they always do well, but now that they're in this position, like you said, multiple goals, mentally, how is that going to affect the players executing their actions and performing here?
See the numbers for SAFC at home. 23-6 is the goal differential and 6 shutouts. No shutout here tonight for Jordan Farr, and SAFC down 2 in the first half. Fjellberg. And you can see why Wilmer Cabrera was thrilled to have Jonas Fjellberg back in his available selection this week. We're coming back on loan from Indy 11. Now we'll get the service here from Jose Torres. And Fjellberg puts it past Abu. Fjellberg, the save by Jordan Farr as he was looking across the face of goal, and then Connor Maloney's upended by Emilio Acasa. And a yellow to Jordan Farr after SAFC was arguing that Acasa didn't receive a yellow for that tackle. So Farr now is given a yellow here. The third yellow handed out to SAFC in the opening half.
Yeah, and I can understand Farr's frustration, but that's not going to change anything. It could be a yellow card on the tackle. I've never seen, though, a player get into it with the ref and they change their mind. I will say that. As much as you want to be in it and your emotions are high, it really doesn't logically make sense.
To that point, how does SAFC kind of bring their emotions back in check? I mean, I guess we're getting to a good point here where you're going to have 15 minutes to settle at the halftime whistle to reorganize coming out for the second half.
Yeah, I would just think really that you're not down 2 goals. It's 0-0, win the second half, and if you do that, it gives you a good chance of winning the game, because we know once they get on a roll and scoring goals, more goals come from that.
Maybe right here is the turning point. Foul by Juan David Cabezas on Connor Maloney. And we'll learn SAFC a dangerous set piece here at the end of the first half.
This is where it would have been ideal having a Garcia on the ball here, but
that's exactly what I was going to say. This is where he is at his best. Just so much pace and finesse on the ball from these types of positions.
And it looks like Patino might be striking it on the left foot option.
It's a tough spot to put service in here, so yeah. I think Patino probably giving it a go is what we're doing here. And a foul whistled and a yellow whistled. That's Sam Adeniran, I believe, getting a yellow there in the 45th minute.
Yeah, there must have been some tussle in the box on the runners crashing in on goal. I was paying attention to the shot. Let's see.
Here you see, oh yeah, Adeniran pushing off on a Kaza, and the referee sees it the whole way. Yellow on Adeniran is the second caution of the season. 2 minutes added time.
I'll be honest, he might be fortunate that it was just a yellow. I think we've seen other red cards given for less than that.
Well, I think the halftime whistle can't come soon enough here for SAFC. Their emotions are getting the best of them a little bit here right now. Not happy they're not getting the calls. Happy the calls are, or unhappy the calls are going against them. It's taken them out of their game here as the first half has gone along. Physical play from Adeniran allows SAFC to win a challenge there without a whistle. Abu switching the play. Patino able to run it down.
Yeah, I think the timing on that ball. First option was to Maloney here, and Patino had started his run and then had to hold it up to stay onside, and his momentum just kind of had slowed himself down to be able to get onto that end of that. But yeah, I think you're exactly right. They're, from what I've seen and how I think they usually play from like the season, I mean, they're really emotional right now and not just focusing on the simple actions of play.
Hernandez. SAFC wanted a handball. And a foul on San Antonio.
Again, Kamiri's got to be careful there. He's going in on the header late, sitting on a yellow. Looks like he called the half.
He did call the half. And maybe it's a good thing for San Antonio FC as they go down 2 goals in the opening half at home for the first time this season. The goals coming just a little over a minute apart. Christian Pinzon in the 34th minute to get it started, followed by Akeem Ward just 90 seconds later. 2-0, RGV with the lead in the South Texas Derby. Halftime coming up on the other side. San Antonio FC finds themselves in unfamiliar territory, trailing 2-0 at home at the half to RGV FC in the South Texas Derby. We say hello once again from the broadcast booth, along with Hayden Partain. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. Well, Hayden, San Antonio FC, if you missed the news earlier this week, making some big headlines as they bring back Christian Pirano, the 2019 USL Player of the Year, on loan from his club in Portugal. You got a chance to play with Christian back in the 2020 season. The great story about him was that he showed up pretty much unknown, off the radar in 2019, and people said he was the best player in training camp. And then, of course, we saw what he went and did in that season. You got a first-hand look at it in 2020. What does his addition mean to the club?
I mean, it's fantastic. He's extremely different. He sees the game differently. He's so creative mind. And, I mean, he's so hard to defend individually. I remember times I tried to foul him, and I couldn't even catch him. He's that good with the ball. But, I mean, a game like this could be a guy that could come off the bench and really make an impact.
And you and I were talking about, and I'm not telling you how you're going to get in the mind of Alan Marcina, but it'll be interesting to see how Alan uses Christian Pirano, because it's a different look. It's not the same players. Pirano and Gallegos had that great chemistry together back in 2020. Gallegos isn't here anymore, but they're still great weapons up top that certainly could make Pirano very attractive.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see. We'll see if he's gonna be on the right side so he can cut in on his favorite left foot, or if he's gonna be a 10 as a playmaker to connect with Adeniran and Patino. I'm really interested to see, and exciting, really.
Either way, good problem to have for Alan Marcina and SAFC, and maybe it comes as soon as tonight. Christian earlier tonight getting warmed up here. More halftime when we return after this. San Antonio FC entering tonight hoping to celebrate clinching a third straight playoff berth. They got work to do, down 2 goals to RGV at the half here in the final installment of the South Texas Derby. We say hello once again from the broadcast booth with Hayden Partain. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. And I mean, Hayden, we came into tonight looking at where these two teams stacked up. SAFC top of the table, RGV at the bottom. You wouldn't know it from that first half. Is a lot of confidence a lot of credit to the visitors. They came in tonight with a lot of confidence and took advantage of some rare miscues by SAFC.
Yeah, 2 fantastic goals. Obviously, you can see that one, the first touch off the corner, and a drive right through the traffic in the box. Deflection, Jordan Farr couldn't do anything about.
And this is the second goal as Akeem Ward sneaks past Saad Abdul Salam, and then just a great strike on the short side.
Yeah, sneaks it past Jordan Farr on the front post. Shouldn't happen, but great goal to say the least.
HEB brings you the numbers, and one thing that we should point out as you take a look at this, no surprise to the possession, but the fouls, Hayden. I mean, the physical play has been a story of this match. You got 20 combined fouls. You got 4 yellows, all on San Antonio FC. I know the referees, at halftime, they kind of also go back and they take a look at what they've called, the yellows that they've called, and so it's interesting to see how they manage the game in the second half, as well as San Antonio FC kind of manages their own emotions in the second half, looking to get back into this one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. SAFC usually has more fouls, but I think that the emotions and maybe calls not going their way, it's bleeding into their actions in the game, and it's really ultimately affecting their play. So I really think that Alan Marcina is going to speak to the team and make sure they clear their mind and just focus on the game plan in the second half.
How important is it for Alan to give the group he has right now time to work their way back into the game before he goes to the bench to try to make some adjustments and substitutions?
If the scoreline stays 2-0, I would say 10 to 15 minutes at most. That's my opinion, but really, you're going to want a goal scorer or a difference maker to be on the field. You don't need to defend. You need to really go for it, especially with the 4 points that we're talking about. You want to get 3 points for yourself today.
We'll see what happens. Second half coming up on the other side. SAFC, what'll happen in the second half? They're down 2 goals. And our second half is coming up next year on Valley Sports. Two 0 at the half. We are Grand Valley FC with a lead over San Antonio FC in the final installment of the South Texas Derby in 2022. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, SAFC's magic number is 4. They clinch with a win and a loss by Monterey Bay FC, and while New Mexico United is helping San Antonio out, 2 goals in 2 minutes in New Mexico for United. They lead 2-0 at the half. San Diego, a 1-0 lead early in El Paso, trying to keep pace with SAFC at the top of the table. Colorado Springs and Tampa Bay, 0-0 at the half. And if Monterey Bay FC were to come back and win, SAFC comes back and wins, and San Antonio can still clinch with Las Vegas fail to win tonight when they take on Sacramento. So, not going on, but SAFC's got their own business to handle. And they'll try to do that next, second half, coming up here on Bally Sports. San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Second half set to begin here. SAFC down 2 goals. Hayden, you and I spoke about whether Alan Marcina was going to give the group that left the field at the end of the first half an opportunity to right the ship, and we're going to get that answer immediately, and it's going to be no. As Jordy Dellum is going to come on for Jasser Kamiri to start the second half, and Christian Pirano will make his first appearance with SAFC since the playoff match against New Mexico United back in 2020, right here on this pitch. On the 10th of November back in 2020, the USL Championship Young Player of the Year in 2019. As you see the numbers, 11 career goals with SAFC. 12 over his 63 career matches. Just celebrated his 23rd birthday this week. So Pirano is back, and he hasn't played, Hayden, since May the 1st. As he last appeared with his team in Greece on loan from his club in Portugal, and now he remains on loan from his Portuguese club, but back in familiar settings here in San Antonio. It'll be interesting to see the impact that he makes on the match, and he takes out Nicky Hernandez, so he goes back kind of in his normal number 10 position where we saw him be so successful for a couple of years here. Flip side, you've got Jordy Dellum coming on for Jasser Kamiri, and my guess is that, I think Jordy Dellum really did himself well last Saturday night against Las Vegas, and it's another chance here in the second half to try to work some chemistry with Mitchell Tainer and Saad Abdul Salam.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to be really holding down the fort. He did really well last week, and maybe was it card, maybe did Kamiri have a knock, but being smart about the way they go about things in the second half is really what Alan Marcina is looking for.
It's Tainer! He's in an offside position as he rings the woodwork. As the flag is up from the assistant. But SAFC is just so dangerous. They were down 1-0 at home against Tulsa. That was back at the end of June. The referee lost an edge, blows a tire, coming back through the middle of the field. But it's going back. SAFC was down 1 goal going to halftime at the end of June. And in the second half, they ran off and scored 2 goals in 2 minutes before we even got to the 1 hour mark. And by that point, SAFC had taken complete control of the game. So now the deficit is 2. Well, that just shows you how quickly they can work themselves back into the match.
and it's said to be 2-0 going into halftime is the worst lead to have statistically.
Fjellberg, top of the box. Fjellberg making the turn. Trying to search out Pinzon. Nice play by Emilio Acasa. Keeps it alive. Fjellberg brings it down, hits the woodwork himself.
That's a bit unlucky for Fjellberg. Did everything right, low and hard back post off the woodwork and just back into Jordan's hands. Just fortunate to go right to him. Now we can see.
Be off Pimentel? No, it'll be awarded to the keeper. Look at Fjellberg bring this one down, and unbelievably unlucky. Trying to make it 3. Jonas Fjellberg, the native of Jessheim, Norway. 23-year-old in his second pro season. Starred at the University of Dayton for the Flyers. He's just seemingly added a whole different dimension on the attack for RGV, which had come into tonight in the bottom third of the table. Just 26 goals on the season, a -10 goal differential. They haven't given up a ton, even in their last 10 matches. We mentioned just 1 win, but they've only given up 9 goals in their last 10 matches, so it's not as if they've been conceding a ton. They had only scored 6 times in their last 10 matches. So to get 2 goals in the first half after only scoring 6 in your last 10, it just does wonders for your confidence.
Oh, for sure, and it just kind of alludes to how much more difficult this second half is going to be for SAFC. It's not like RGV is just going to roll over.
They can jump from 3rd to as high as 10th if things go their way tonight, if they hang on for all 3 points. Pinzon, Acasa, Juan David Cabezas gives it a go. It's over. Goal for the veteran. 31-year-old from Colombia. 230 career matches for Juan David Cabezas. Spent time in Houston Dynamo, 48 matches of Major League Soccer experience. Connor Maloney. Space opening up on the left. Trying to slip one into Adeniran. Was turned out there by Pimentel.
The strikers, there's one running front post, one running back post, and then either someone at the top of the box or the PK spot. That's a goal. That's a great ball from Maloney. No one's there, though.
Abu, and it's Tyler Derrick. So while Derrick certainly was, I say, tested, but had a lot more activity to start the match, once RGV was able to strike, it's pretty seamless for Derrick towards the end of the first half. We see so many young keepers these days in USL Championship. When you're on the road, you're playing the best team in the league. It's nice to have kind of a veteran presence like Derrick, he's been through the fire, whether it's been at the Major League Soccer level or here in USL, and especially in RGV. A guy of that experience take you a long way.
Yeah, and in soccer, you really want a leader from the back because they're the ones who can see everything of the game all the time. So I think, to your point, it's a real help having a guy like that in goal.
Jonathan Ricketts trying to search out Fjellberg. SAFC will concede a throw here. SAFC with 4 players sitting on yellows. Jasser Kamiri has already come out of the match. Jordan Farr on a yellow, Mohamed Abu on a yellow, and Sam Adeniran on a yellow as well here.
It's well done from Mitch there. Win the ball back and just kick it off Fjellberg into the out of bounds. That's not a turnover you want to make, though.
No, and it sneaks through at Pinzon. Trying to hunt that one down inside the box. Has already got 1 goal. SAFC fortunate to pin him away from the ball. Ward. Jose Torres. Top of the box. Ricky Ruiz. Torres. Switch the play over in the direction of Ricketts. Heavy on the touch. And a foul by Connor Maloney. And a yellow to Connor Maloney. I didn't love that foul. And I certainly don't love the yellow call either.
It's a great first touch into space. And then Connor just kind of initiates contact. I'm sure he's claiming shoulder to shoulder, but it could be obstruction to the ball.
Does the touch, the heaviness of the touch, that ball was getting away, does that play at all into what happens from that point?
Possibly, if there was another player, maybe a SAFC player in the vicinity, but then you could say that that guy took the ball and Connor fouled the man. So I think in that instance, I don't think it really would have mattered based on what the action that Connor made on the play.
So Juan David Cabezas over the ball here with Fjellberg. A dangerous spot on a set piece in the 54th minute. Cabezas off the woodwork, headed in, and RGV is up 3 or not. The flag is up. A late flag comes up after Eric Pimentel had headed it in, and it remains 2.
Well, the initial save from far is unbelievable. Full stretch, touches it into the uprights, and then a follow through. To be honest, I don't know if he's offside. Can't really tell in that frame. Maybe a wider frame could help us see that for sure, but it's a bold call from the ref.
As Derek will settle that. There is still commotion going over on the other side while the ball was being played all the way back on the RGV side of the field, as I think center referee wanted to come over and get the ruling from the assistant on the offside call. And he's
looks like it's confirmed.
He's agreed with his decision. Well, there's no VAR. They can't go back and look at it.
We can.
It is a bold call indeed. You're right. It was a tremendous save from Jordan Farr.
I will say, though, you're making a save like that, you're going to want all your defenders to track back and make sure that there's no RGV players able to get to the ball after that falls off the upright.
And to me, that's what, you know, when I look at an offside call like that, you've got everybody in white gunning for the rebound there. And kind of SAFC a little shell-shocked, almost by nature of the fact that they were a little shell-shocked. Perhaps that ball didn't go in initially. It went to their benefit that the offside call was made. Meanwhile, RGV still gunning. Well, this one's going to skip past Pinzon on the service from Ricky Ruiz across the field.
Yeah, we got to remember too, it's off the shot. That's what the call's off of. So he must have ran before the shot was taken. I have no idea. I'm sure SAFC is happy to be still at 2-0 and not 3-0.
Good challenge from Ward there. Keeps it away from Shannon Gomez. First touch for Pirano since he's come on. And puts a great ball in the direction of Justin Dillon before Hakeem Ward defended that one out. In zone, unable to keep it in play. Abu. Denner in. Into the box. And a foul whistled on Justin Dillon. It was the right call. He was riding the back there of Akwe.
Yeah, those are tough. The ball just wasn't quite going to reach Dylan. He's doing the best he can, but it is a foul.
So there have been 2 instances where RGV could have extended their lead to 3 goals here in the first quarter hour of this second half. Fjellberg hits the woodwork on a shot from the right angle, and then Juan David Cabezas takes an outstanding set piece. Jordan Farr makes the save on. And then knocked back in by Pimentel, but waved off for the offside. Santiago Patino's night is done, and Elliot Collier come back the 3rd time since returning from injury. Collier making his 14th appearance.
For guys like Collier, they just need to get touches on the ball early on, and so they can play into this game. Same with Pirano. They're a little 1-2, another 1-2. That's what those guys need for you to want them to create things on goal.
Denorin ran off his man, keeps possession. Collier, Pirano, Shannon Gomez. Can he open up? He can! He puts it in! Shannon Gomez! San Antonio FC on the board. It's a 2-1 game.
What a finish. Like I just said, you see Pirano and Collier doing 1-2s in the middle of the park. Collier sent the cross, and Pirano has a little flick, acrobatic flick here onto Shannon Gomez, and he just keeps it simple. Takes the touch, low drive on the ground, back post, side netting. It's fantastic.
Shannon Gomez hadn't scored in 109 career USL matches. He's got 2 in his last 4. Second of the season, second in his USL career. 2-1 game with a half hour to play. Now how does RGV respond? Twice potentially having the goal not fall in, and now SAFC able to turn and capitalize here with that turn by Shannon Gomez.
Yeah, you don't always need a clear look. So many players think they need a clear look. That strike was through the defender that was maybe inches away, through his legs. You take a shot on goal, you never know what's going to happen.
So Christian Pirano right into the match, assisting on the Gomez goal. It's his 11th career assist with SAFC, and already makes his presence in less than 15 minutes.
And that kind of shows his creativity. I would have never thought to flick that on, you know, and he's really quick-witted there. Maybe even was aware of Shannon Gomez being there and just flicks it on to his teammate for a chance on goal.
Meanwhile, Jose Torres on the set piece here. Service in, bends down, and Jordan Farr is there for the save and a quick throw out. Pirano trying to run this down, and Akeem Ward back to his keeper. In zone. Keep it moving here. Crowd has gotten back into the game for sure. SAFC able to get 1. Now hunting for an equalizer. Pirano. Shannon Gomez. Get throw to SAFC.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of liveliness now from SAFC, a little more belief.
Connor. Abdul Salam doesn't do well with that, and that sets up a 3-on-2 upfield. Ruiz, Pinzon the overlap. Oh, and he finished, or didn't finish his run, surprisingly.
I don't know if he thought he was going to be offside. He needed to hold up on it, or if they were just off, not on the same page.
Here's the counter for San Antonio. Collier, Dillon. Ball erased from his feet as Pimentel stepped in front of him.
Yeah, it looked like on that mishap from Abdul Salam. Maybe tweak something here. Get some attention to check it out.
And how the complexion of the match can change in a hurry. You go from what's looking like it's going to be an almost insurmountable 3-0 deficit to just a couple of minutes later, it's a 2-1 match with a half hour to play, and it's looking like an entirely different match here over these next 30 minutes or so.
That's why they call it the beautiful game. There's so much decided in those little 6-yard box right there.
SAFC wrapping up a 3-match homestand here tonight. We'll take a look at their road ahead after tonight. They'll hit the road for 2 and a little bit of a cross-country swing as they'll begin in Indianapolis taking on Indy 11 before going back from east to west where they'll meet Oakland Roots. That'll be our next telecast coming up on September the 3rd. And then back home for a very critical 4-match homestand. San Diego, New Mexico, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then Sacramento Republic. You'll see we'll have 3 of the next 5 matches here on Valley Sports.
Looks like SAFC is going to make a change here.
Doesn't look like Saad Abdul Salam is going to continue.
But it looks like Nacho Balon's getting some final instructions, so maybe a formation change. They're really going to go for it, putting a striker on.
Meanwhile, Acasa, Jose Torres switching the play. Akeem Ward. Ruiz off the back foot, back to Ward. Lands here at the feet of Acasa as he gives it a go. That's blocked. Acasa recovers. Jonas Fjellberg out wide. Fjellberg driving into the box where it's headed but not out. Second effort by Tainer, able to drive that one out.
Entering the match for San Antonio FC, number 20, Nacho
Ignacio Bailoni comes on here for the final 25 minutes, and Saad Abdul Salam is off. So SAFC down to just, when you truly think about it, only one natural defender in Mitchell Tainer. Jordy Della, more of an accustomed midfielder, kind of playing in that back role. Shannon Gomez, a wide player too.
Yeah, the formation looks more like a 4-2-4 or a 4-2-2-2.
Obviously, you're going to have Connor and Shannon certainly being a little bit more responsible, especially on the wings, to support Tainer and Dellum here in the final 25 minutes.
Yeah, the only difference for them will be is if you're on the strong side, you have freedom to stay high. But if you're on the weak side, you've got to stay back. You can't creep forward when you have 3 center backs.
This ball bends away from Pinzon. It'll come back to play it. Ruiz, Torres, Ricky Ruiz. A nifty combination, but Gomez steps in front of Ruiz, doesn't allow him to make the full path to the ball, and it's Jordan Farr. Get a chance to crank one out. Bad giveaway by Mitchell Tainer. Pinzon, and it's far, makes the save there.
Looked like Tainer and Dillon were on different pages.
And again, those two really have not played much together in that positioning, in that situation, so not surprising. Meanwhile, a giveaway there on the far side, and it's Ricketts who's making the run here. Fjellberg can't get service. Akasa volleys it along. Fjellberg flicks it into the 18-yard box. Hakeem Ward. Pinzon. Ruiz, first time. Goes to ground, we play on. Connor Maloney, he's got Elliot Collier streaking on the right side. Pirano will finally release it to him. Collier is met at the ball there.
Just a bit heavy on the touch.
It's well done there by Jose Torres, and flag stays down this time. Ruiz forward into the box. Stops, slips, still with it, puts it down far, able to save it off the pitch.
This game is extremely open. It's a bit discombobulated. Interested to see which team is gonna really settle it down, get their shape back, and play together as a unit, because it's been end-to-end with lots of space in the midfield.
San Antonio cannot afford to give up a third if they have any hopes at a comeback. Maloney. Taken by Derrick, and Tyler Derrick will go to the ground and just try to settle everybody down a little bit here as we come upon the final 20 minutes. SAFC down 2-1. Shannon Gomez in the 59th minute here in the second half, giving some life to this Toyota Field crowd. That's off the back of Pinzon and rolls harmlessly into the box. Far will send it out. Here's Gomez. Dillon. Pimentel. Off the hand of Dillon. Apparently not. Foul whistled on Jose Torres. Set piece here for SAFC.
It's really well done from Dillon. Drops the shoulder, cuts, draws the foul. A really good area for Abu to put a set piece in.
You've got some pretty tall front runners getting forward here into the box. Tainer, Bailone, Dillon, Collier. Watch out for Tainer. He's kind of hiding on that backside. Out of your picture right now, but he's there.
He's unmarked as well.
There he goes. He'll get the service, but GB read it well with Ricketts stepping in front of Tainer, and as he concede the corner, he does. The fourth corner of the match coming up for SAFC. The outswinger here on the far side. Hold up. Abu. Headed down. Torres turning it out. Fjellberg. First touch. Oh, cheeky from Fjellberg. Connor Maloney defended it well. Tainer. Search out Pirano. Pirano. Across the face of goal. Akwe. Defended out. It'll be a throw here for SAFC.
He might look small, but he is strong.
Well, and he has put on some weight since we have seen him last, and
In
the
a good way,
kind
yeah.
of weight. I was going to say, just more muscle. A guy of his stature, he only stands 5'6".
His center of gravity is just so low. He can spin any player on like a top.
A sub here, the first of the night for RGV. Robert Coronado will come into the match here. Will take out the striker Jonas Fjellberg. Here's a recap of the match tonight. In the first half, RGV getting 2 goals. Pinzon, terrific strike. His first, and then just moments after that, Akeem Ward to the short side past Jordan Farr, and it was 2-0 RGV at the half, and then Christian Pirano comes on, makes some magic happen with Shannon Gomez, who makes the turn and gets San Antonio on the board. And this headed for the upper corner by Adeniran is over goal.
He was trying to recreate the Loudon goal, but to be honest, he had space in front of him. He could have continued to drive there after he turned.
So we come ever so closer to the final quarter hour. SAFC down 1 to their rivals from RGV. Pirano. Ilone goes to ground. Will earn a set piece here for San Antonio.
That's one thing too. A lot of people might know is they already have, you know, connections there. They already have chemistry from previous seasons. It's really well done by Balone, just protecting the ball.
Ilone from Rosario, Argentina. Pirano from Aguilares, Argentina. Just need to get Dorenzo back. We'll have our Argentinian trifecta back again.
Lucho as well.
And Lucho too. Sam Adeniran for goal. It's high and wide.
I don't mind that.
Really have no choice from that position. You can't really clip one into the box from that spot. You're kind of in almost no man's land from that position of the field.
Yeah, really, if you got to really be cute with it to get a service in, or you could try to change the angle and make a pass first and then get a service in. But I mean, Adeniran can hit it from there. We've seen it before.
The substitute for RGV, Robert Coronado, is an outside back, and a defender taking out, you know, a striker in Jonas Fjellberg. Gives you an idea of what Wilmer Cabrera is thinking here in this last quarter hour, trying to really slow the game down and pack it in from a defending standpoint. He knows how valuable these 3 points are here, and he's going to go back to the bench for another substitute, and it's going to be another defensive holding midfielder and Juan Pablo Torres, although he's going to take out of his natural number 6 in Jose Torres, who will come out here. So Juan Pablo in, Jose is out. Juan Pablo Torres making his 21st appearance, the 23-year-old. Last season was in Austin Bold. RGV in possession of the ball. Shannon Gomez just out-muscled Pinzon to win that ball back as he brings it into the final third. Works it ahead. It does not come through to Adeniran, however, and it's taken out. On the counter now, it's Coronado making his first touch since coming on. Coronado heavy on that touch. Pirano ahead to Abu.
They need width here. You can see the 3 strikers are all inside of the width of an 18.
That move by Elliot Cutler. as he gets it over to Adeniran. Adeniran keeps it moving. Volleyed out. Collier fanning on it, gets it back, nearly puts it in. Oh, man. Tyler Derrick reaches out to cover the far post and makes the save.
Swing and a miss was a fantastic fake shot, but looked like there was still traffic, even though he didn't catch it probably as good as he would have liked. Adeniran, just a bull in a china shop. So strong. But what a save at the end of the day.
I mean, I wonder if he got a better shot off by missing than he did on the first time.
Maybe. There's just so much traffic there, and obviously a big windup like that, everyone is crashing their bodies in front of that.
Ward. Jordan Farr able to settle into that one. Tainer will get forward on the far touchline. Trying to send off Justin Dillon, but it's Akwe to it first. He'll drive it up to the top of section 127. That is not a souvenir, young fan.
I always thought about that. How much does a baseball take to make? Is it just the size of the ball? That's why you have to return it? Because you get a baseball, you get to keep it.
It's a fair question.
I'm just thinking. I don't know.
Ruiz, Coronado. Pablo Torres trying to make the run. Here's Acasa, corner of the box. Acasa putting it to the top of the six. That's defended out by Dellum. Akwe. And now Ward. In zone. A little bit of miscommunication there. It allows San Antonio to break free, but they can't get past the defense in the middle there. Ward, run off the ball. Looking like a promising counter there a moment ago for SAFC. Now Adeniran makes the turn and he's brought down, and Acasa will go into the books there in the 80th minute. Sixth caution of the season to Emilio Acasa. Ten minutes plus whatever added time remaining in the match. SAFC down a goal, 2-1. The second half has looked a lot more promising than the first half did for the home side. Toronto. Dillon tries to slip one to Collier, but that's too heavy. Derrick will take it there.
Yeah, great run, great idea, just poor execution from Dillon there.
So we're being told by our crackpot crew in the truck, an average baseball is $7. A USL Championship select soccer ball is over $150. So
makes sense.
It's a little bit more value in one than the other.
I love that from them. They're actually listening to us.
Yeah. Now, Adeniran, they'll play the advantage. Adeniran missing on the strike. And it belongs to Derrick. Oh.
He had so many options to his left as well. It's a great run individually. Muscles off this one.
And what's unfortunate, even though this is a mishit, is it's probably going to be a yellow on Juan David Cabezas if they don't play the advantage. It would be another good-looking set-piece opportunity. But you got your best striker in alone. You're going to play those odds every single time.
Yeah, really, he should have done better there. Maybe looking at back post or the three options in the box that were making runs.
Pinzon turns that over, and Pirano. Can Shannon Gomez thread the needle? Plays it to the opposite end. Bailoni can't get the service in the box. Cabezas will turn it out. I think they'll look at those last two possessions. The heavy service from Dillon looking for Collier, and then that Adeniran miss hit is two very key opportunities that they didn't capitalize on if they can't find the equalizer here in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that change the game. We've seen those things happen, and then SAFC doesn't capitalize on them, and later on in the game, the opposition ties the game.
Tainer volleys it right to the keeper. I don't think Alan Marcina will necessarily be pleased if this line ends as is, 2-1, but I think maybe inside he's going to be a little bit happy that his club showed some pretty significant resolve and moxie here in the second half, and in battling back after it didn't start out all so good, considering the two big opportunities they conceded and nearly made it a 3-0 game, and almost would have put the outcome to rest at that point.
Yeah, like I said, at halftime, really all you can focus on is winning the second half. Right now, they're up in the second half, but ultimately, over the course of the whole game, you want to be up. I don't think the game's over here, to be honest, though.
No, I agree. I think there's a few more opportunities left up SAFC's sleeves here. And that man with the ball at his feet, Christian Pirano, can certainly make magic happen in a hurry. Although, again, he just joined the club on Thursday, at least officially. He had been training with them here over the last week. That should be a foul and a card on Bailone, and it will here in the 84th minute. But even saying that, it's been such limited time with Pirano and working with the strikers up top, it's going to take them some time to get on the same page. Bailone into the books for the first time this year, as Coronado is slow to get back up. San Antonio FC beginning tonight, the USL Championship, leading 56 points in the race for the #1 overall seed in USL Championship, which could loom very large when we get to the postseason. Beginning tonight, 56 points. They had a 4-point lead over, that's not Loudoun United, but Louisville City, rather, sitting in second. Memphis 901, 51 points in third, followed by San Diego and Tampa Bay. The top 5 clubs in USL Championship right now.
Yeah, that's one of the trophies you can win for the season. Shows the most consistent team over the course of the season. Ultimately, you want to be the winner of the USL Cup in the playoffs. But getting #1 overall, you keep winning, you have a for sure home field advantage all the way through. Puts you in a good spot.
Final 10 minutes in New Mexico. United with a 2-0 lead over Monterey Bay FC. And early in Las Vegas, Sacramento up 1-0 over Las Vegas Lights FC. That strike is taken wide. The San Antonio FC have some magic left in them. Pirano able to get on the end of that ball. SAFC will earn the throw. Another substitute coming on here for RGV. Isidro Martinez will come on for Christian Pinzon. Martinez, the RGV veteran, this is his 72nd appearance with RGV, the Brownsville, Texas native. Also played his collegiate soccer at the University of Texas at RGV, as Pinzon will helped off there by Jordy Dellum. Extra help, so to speak. So Martinez on here for the final 5 minutes, whatever added time. Shannon Gomez. Abu. Tainer over to Maloney. Into the box by Lone! Climbs the ladder, or Collier rather, climbing the ladder, putting it wide.
I just wonder if Christian could have called Collier off. He was wide open on the back post. Just a little bit too high to get any real power or direction on it.
That's Coronado, settle. Ruiz. Tainer with the tackle out. Ball belongs to RGV. Closing minutes of the match. We've seen some late magic in these SAFC RGV battles over the years. One of them taking place here at Toyota Field with Ana Zokar getting the tremendous bicycle kick just before stoppage time to equalize the match back in 2020.
Like RGV substitute threw a ball on the field on purpose.
And yes, bench should be shown yellow there.
The issue is assessed a yellow card to the
To have more cards than minutes played by the end of the game.
It's not something to brag about. Gomez. Dylan. Akwe with a volley to long. Isidro Martinez beaten to the ball there by Tainer. Ooh. Tainer is going to get a caution for that. Little extra shove there. And Ruiz. And the rest of RGV not particularly thrilled with the extra aggression by Mitchell Tainer in that situation. This is where the center referee certainly has got to make sure he takes charge here and puts everyone back in their respective corners. It's unnecessary by Tainer. It's an obvious yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't help with the size difference as well. I mean, a body check, a shove, anything from Mitch there's gonna be extensive. Yeah, the referee, he goes from being the referee to instantly has to be a bodyguard. It's a tough thing to deal with.
And then peacemaker.
Yeah, on top of that.
And I mean, this, unfortunately, and I know there's going to be some added time that'll get put on this. This kind of hurts SAFC here because it allows RGV to settle, to kill some time. Well, the attention to Martinez continues. Just came on to the match less than 5 minutes ago. We get 6 minutes added time, but even that is, I think, somewhat debatable.
It's a good thing they have those portable boards in front of the concrete and metal wall that separates the field from the stands.
6 goes up for the added time.
6 minutes of stoppage time added.
Ruiz forced away from him by Shannon Gomez, and allows RGV to again take more time off the clock, work a throw here. And my guess, when all said and done, we'll probably be looking more at about 8 minutes added time. Alan Marcina looks on. RGV awarded a throw yet again. Looks like as well, Wilmer Cabrera is going to go to his bench too at some point here. He's got Luka Malasevic up and Frank Nadarse as well, a couple of defenders. See if that comes to pass here. Jordy Dellum. SAFC's got to get moving upfield here. Tainer sends this in the direction, and that should be a foul and a set piece, and it will, as Dillon gets knocked down just outside the 18-yard box. A silly foul by RGV. Really, Dillon wasn't going to get to that ball. RGV's got to be more disciplined in that instance.
Yeah, a silly foul indeed. He's not, like you said, he's not going to get to the ball, but if you don't even play the ball, it's going to be a simple call.
And it's likely going to be out. It's going to be in the hands of Derek, and it's going to be a few more precious seconds off the clock. And now, sensing that they need some time here, he's got Wilmer Cabrera making those two substitutes that we said, Nadarse and Malasevic. Question is whether they're going to be allowed on now or they're going to wait to come on. And Jordan Farr. Some instructions for Connor Maloney as he came across to the other side of the field. It's Abu over the ball.
It looks like the referee's signaling for the substitutes to happen.
That's what, yeah.
But no players are making their way
Now
to the sideline.
They'll come off. I mean, I think it's strategic by Wilmer Cabrera. And now he's... now the substitutes come off. It's just simple time wasting by RGV.
Yeah, it's savvy. You act like you don't know what's going on.
Tactical moves here. You're just trying to kill some clock. See if the referee's not paying attention to his watch and how much time he's going to add on. Wilmer Cabrera, it's not his first rodeo. He knew exactly what he was doing when it came to making these substitutions the moment he did. All it does is gets everybody out of rhythm a little bit more. Nadarse and Malasevic on. But really, this is the moment with Abu and the ball at his feet here. Flips it to the back post. Headed in at the death! It's Mitchell Tainer! And San Antonio FC has leveled!
Oh, you gotta love it. There was so much commitment in that run to get on the end of that header, and then in the full extension, just drives through the ball and back across the goal. Oh, beautiful goal. Great clip ball, just drives right through it and kind of lofts it back post, out of reach. You can see Dellum celebrating before it goes in the net.
Tainer at the death, number 5 on the season. And SAFC, once down 2, has equalized here late.
It looks like the SAFC players are signaling the number 2. Maybe the referee had said to them 2 minutes of added time with the stoppages we've had in injury time here. So might be more chances here.
There's Dylan. In the box. He's headed out. Akaza. Dellum. San Antonio FC will take the throw here. Nacho Bailone. Abu. Looking for Dylan. Looked away from him. Cabezas. Upfield. Kaza. As it was blocked by Gomez. Oh, the commitment for SAFC here. Outstanding. Short and far is going to serve it up himself here. Looked like at least he was. Now he's going up as short and far. He's firing up the crowd here. Abu. Get a lot of distance on that one.
Well, there's a bit of infringement there.
The yellow. So he'll do it again.
Came closer than 10 yards to try to block the...
Yeah. That's the yellow to Coronado. I guess it's the same thing. It's the 10 yards. Connor Maloney trying to push him back.
He's going to get a
second yellow, and he's going to get a red. Coronado sent off. Robert Coronado sent off here in stoppage time, which has almost gone 10 minutes.
Might be even going more. He's not making it any better for his team here.
Abu. Tainer. Sit down. Bailone. Gonna make the turn. Learn SAFC a corner. Their 5th corner of the match. No, they've got to go in a hurry here. Perhaps the final ball of the match. Abu ends this one at the top of the 6th. It's headed away. The South Texas Derby never disappoints, and the 23rd installment lives it up to expectations once again. San Antonio FC rallies from 2 goals down as they finish level with RGV tonight, 2-2 here at Toyota Field. Goals in the second half from Shannon Gomez, and at the death, Mitchell Tainer. And SAFC secures a point after going down 2 in the first half. Magic number is down to 1. Our next broadcast coming up will be against the Oakland Roots. It'll be on the 3rd of September. San Antonio's in Indianapolis next Saturday. Catch that match on ESPN+. Now, for Hayden Partain and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. 2-2 your final. This has been a presentation of USL Championship and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. Have a great night, everybody.